Wait.
Wait.
Whenever you're ready.
Hello. Welcome to Whiskey Advent 2020, day 16. Yes, we are in the same clothes we were on day 15, but I won't tell you why. We are back to, we're the Barbers.
Hello.
You know that. We are back to bourbon. I feel like it's been a hot minute since we've had
been a few days.
Bourbon. And we have chosen, this is called Calumet Farm, a single rack black, aged 12 years. So they are neither a distiller or a bottler. It is a horse racing legacy that happens to sell some bourbon they choose from.
They're a sourcer.
They're a sourcer. There you go.
Yeah.
Because
nothing wrong with sourcing.
No, we like sorcerers. Almost sounds like sorcerers.
Nothing wrong
We're
with
into
sorcerers. The dark arts.
The dark arts. They are, the whiskey is distilled and aged in Bardstown. So there's plenty of distilleries in Bardstown. Yeah. And then it's bottled in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So there's lots of distilleries in Kentucky. And, you know, they all like to be sort of hush-hush on where, you know, who does what where.
This is a single rack, and it is 12-year at minimum, so it's a pretty solid lineup that we've got.
So not single barrel.
Not single barrel.
Single rack.
Single rack. So they took one rack, and they said, okay, we're going to take these 19 barrels. I think it was 19 barrels.
I think you're right.
That they sourced, and they mixed, and they made this product. So there's quite a few new whiskey makers of sorts that are doing these types of things, and you know, some of our favorites actually do these types of things. In fact, my three favorite whiskeys they don't even have distilleries. So
and we haven't even got to them
yet. We haven't even got to them yet. So very exciting things to come. But this is a new, kind of a new one for me, and I guess it's been around for a while, and considering their horse racing legacy and all that.
But they didn't start doing the whole bourbon thing till relatively recently.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, but
I mean,
what's more Kentucky than horse racing and bourbon? So
That's
they
true.
just married the two, and
so with not a lot to go on the barrel and in the distillery. Do we know mash bill?
74 malted barley.
No.
Oh my gosh. Still stuck in
corn,
Scotch, aren't
because
it?
it's
74% corn because it's bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
And it is 18% rye and 8% malted barley. So a pretty high rye situation.
Yep. And the proof is 47%.
So 94 proof. Pretty
94
decent.
Proof, pretty decent.
Shouldn't taste like water.
No.
No.
Shall we get to tasting?
We shall. Getting vanilla on the nose.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, we're
and spices.
Bourbon country here.
You know, I would definitely let this sit for a minute because, you know, we had let it sit for a few minutes before we started the video here.
And besides vanilla and spice, that's about what I'm getting. Vanilla and spice. You can definitely tell there's some sort
of cherry, and there's a leathery note to it on the nose.
I'm bad with getting things on the nose so much. I'm a little, let's see. Vanilla, you can tell it's high rye. There's a little punch, a little spice from the rye.
Very leathery, honestly.
Yeah. It's not very sweet.
No.
You know, some bourbons have that like vanilla cherry sweetness. This is not
None of that.
sweet.
None of that. Very bitter.
Yeah.
And
Blake likes bitter.
I do love bitter. And
bitter
you
coffee,
know, I wasn't
bitter whiskey.
when I first tried this, I wasn't too impressed. But this is impressing me more that it's so different. It doesn't have that sweetness. It doesn't have...
Has a lot of barrel.
Yeah, a lot of char. I
Vanilla
wonder what...
spice char, but not sweet.
I wonder what another 30 minutes would do with this. Definitely a little hint of tobacco.
Shall we just wait and count and find out? Just kidding. No.
I wonder what this, you know, would do with another 30 minutes. And then I would also say some leather, tobacco.
Yeah, I'm getting those more...
stronger,
non-edible type of
notes.
Yeah, but I do. I love the smell of leather. Don't really love the smell of tobacco. But
there is some sweetness there.
But it's a very mild sweetness.
It's very mild, and it comes and goes. And I think that adds to the complexity and the intriguingness of this.
I'm sitting here, I'm thinking I'm getting the rye, getting the barrel.
So much char. So much char and bitterness. So you get the bitterness from the oak, and then you get the char and the smokiness from the barrel as well. So there's 2 barrel notes there.
And that I mean, it's not sweet, but that vanilla kind of softens it.
Yeah.
And
I don't think this would be a good cocktail because it would not punch through.
I think this would be good to pair with chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe milk chocolate. Or like a 50% or 70,
yeah.
50 to 70%.
Because you get that sweetness there from the chocolate, and then you get all your spicy, bitter, bourbony notes here.
The more it sits, the sweeter it's getting. But it is, oh man, it's a dark chocolate. It's like eating dark chocolate. It's very bitter.
Well, which we like also.
We do really like that.
I like dark chocolate. Ever since I was a little kid, those little Hershey miniatures, always went for the special dark, although it's probably not very, it's probably like practically milk chocolate now that I'm thinking about it.
The nose is really good. What are you getting on the finish?
Bitter. Bitter and vanilla.
Not a Kentucky hug either for me. It's even though
not
it's
too much.
Yeah, even though it's a big char and a lot of barrel.
I mean, a 94 proof, but still, it's not that crazy high.
Yeah, I think we mentioned before that age statement means the youngest spirit that went into the mix. So
conceivably, there could be things older than 12 years.
Right, there could be some much older things than 12 years here. And maybe that's the case with all this bitterness and char and kind of just a lack of traditional bourbon flavors, even though it's very much bourbon.
Yeah, it's bourbon. It's just not it's not a sweeter bourbon.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Very fascinating.
Yeah, we're kind of slightly perplexed here.
Cheers.
All right. Chin chin.